So one of the first things that we like to do when we get a new keyboard is start going through sounds and figuring out how to layer some of the cool sounds we like so we can begin playing some of the songs that we like to play. That's really easy to do on the Korg ModWave MK2, and I'm going to show you how. So first thing you need to know is that the ModWave MK2, the sounds are made up of two layers, layers A and B. If you want to turn either of those layers on or off, all you do is double click the layer button for whatever layer it is you want to turn on or off. If you double click it and the red light is on, it's going to turn it off. If you double click it and the red light is off, it's going to turn it on. You can do the same thing for layer A or B. On, off. All right, so right now we're going to work within layer A. All right, the next thing to know is that within each layer, you have two oscillators. Oscillator 1 and its control section, Oscillator 2 and its control section, and then you have a sub or noise generator over here on its own. You can control the level, which is the volume, using the level knob for whichever oscillator or the sub noise generator that you want to do. So right here within layer A, I can use this level knob to turn the sound for Oscillator 1 up or down. And I can do the same thing for Oscillator 2. So right now we don't have any sound because the oscillators are turned all the way off. All right, so I'm gonna turn the level up for Oscillator 1, and that's the one we're gonna work with for right now. So within each oscillator, you have an oscillator mode, and you can choose from one of three options. Oscillator mode A, which is just gonna be a single waveform that you can choose from to play your sounds. We have oscillator A and B, which is a blend of two waveforms that you can use to play your sounds. Or you can choose to put a multi-sample by selecting the sample option. All right, so with oscillator mode A, you get to choose a single waveform. With oscillator mode AB, you get to choose between two waveforms. And with the sample oscillator mode, you can choose between a multi-sample to have within your sound. If we were gonna use A, we just select A, and then we could change the value knob here and use to select from one of the many waves in the wavetable that Korg gave us to work with. This is the plasma wave. All right, so just the same, if we wanted to use oscillator mode AB, we now have an option to choose between two waveforms from that same wavetable. So under the B side, I'm gonna select another waveform. Let's see, this one is called Korg. Let's listen to what it sounds like. Okay, so with each oscillator, you have the level knob that we talked about earlier that you can use to control the volume of your sound. That's Oscillator 1, Oscillator 2, and the sub noise generator. And what we want to do is we want to listen to Oscillator 1. So that's what that sounds like. But remember, we're using oscillator mode AB, so we actually have two waveforms that we're listening to at any given time, or up to two waveforms that we're listening to at any given time when we're in this mode. But we don't have a direct way to control the volume like a mixer form like we were doing with Oscillator 1 or Oscillator 2. But what we can do is we can use the AB blend knob to blend between the two waveforms. All right, so when it's all the way to the left, you're going to be hearing the A side of the oscillator. And when it's all the way to the right, you're going to be hearing the B side of the oscillator. All right, and then you can blend between the two depending on how you want your sound to sound and how you want it to feel. And that's all within Oscillator 1. You can turn around and do the same thing within Oscillator 2. So now I'm going to turn Oscillator 1 all the way down so we can't hear anything, and now I'm going to turn Oscillator 2 up and we can hear it. So the same thing, we could select two waveforms here. So let's choose two different ones. So this is the B part of the oscillator, and the A part of the oscillator sounds like this. All right, so if we want to change that A part of the oscillator, we just select the A one by using the page minus and page plus button to navigate through the screen, and we change it to a different waveform by using the value knob just like we did earlier. And we can blend between the two once again. And now we've just layered our first sound. That's how you layer sounds on the Korg ModWave MK2.